Hello, family and friends. Today I want to talk about the three main problems that we have with food and how we can overcome it. So, watch the video till the end. So, I hope everybody is doing amazing. I wanted to first talk about two main ideas or definitions of dieting and or diets. So when we say diet could mean your lifestyle, what encompasses your regular eating habits from day to day, right? And then the other definition or idea of diet is a change in behavior or subscribing to a specific plan for health purposes, right? So I say I don't like diets, it's more that second definition. I don't like the idea of subscribing to something and then, seeing progress, making progress, or, after some time just letting it go or giving up on it. I think of diet more as that lifestyle change, that first definition. What are your day-to-day habits, what encompasses this, and how can we make lifestyle changes that we then can improve over time and sustain and also enjoy. Because if you don't enjoy it, if you don't like what you're eating or what you're doing, there is no way you're going to keep that up. And I talk specifically about diet failure and all the reasons why diets don't work in my podcast episode number 6, I think, Why Diets Fail, the Break Free Get Fit podcast. So check it out, listen. It's an awesome time to reflect and think about ways to overcome on your health and fitness journey, right? So going to the reason of this video. So there's three main problems we have with our diets, like our day-to-day eating. And the first one is eating processed food. So 30, 40 years ago, processed food wasn't so prevalent. When I was growing up, there was sort of like the standard junk food, the chips and candy, but that wasn't really like regular in my household. Those were things you ate from time to time. But even, in my parents' generation, those things didn't exist. Now it's processed food everywhere. So, what is processed food? Now, there's also food that is minimally processed, then that's okay. Processed food is anything that is out of the original state. So anything that's not a whole food, like an apple or an egg. So once you cook the eggs and you scramble them, and now it's processed, but that's okay. You're cooking it. Cooking is a process, but we would still consider that minimally processed. But you want to start your meals with whole foods, and that's not always something feasible in this day and age. However, if you stick to whole foods or minimally processed foods as much as possible, so that means try to stick with things that don't have food labels. That's how you usually can tell if your food is processed or not. If it doesn't have a food label, then it's probably a whole food and it's not processed. Now, if it has a food label, go through the ingredients, and if it starts to be more than 5 ingredients, it's probably too much. However, you also have to go through those ingredients. So if those ingredients are whole foods, if those ingredients, you know what they are, you can pronounce them, then it should be okay. But you still want to stick to whole foods. That's the rule of thumb, as much as possible. So some minimally processed foods that I do consume are things like cheese, cream, yogurt, and whey protein. So I know that there could be a lot of discussion over whey protein. They're not all the same. However, whey is a byproduct of milk, and it is considered minimally processed, not over processed, or heavily processed. So the second main problem with food is too much sugar or carbs. And so this can be part of the byproduct of processed foods, is adding in these extra things into the food. So too much sugar, too much carbs. You should try to stay under 24 grams of added sugars daily. And the carb conversation goes back and forth, but ultimately sugar and carbs, when they are consumed, they raise your glucose levels, and then they raise your insulin levels. And having that done chronically can lead to a whole host of health issues, and also can lead you craving and hungry shortly after, and it becomes like a roller coaster. It can also throw your hormones out of whack, so you really want to control those blood sugar spikes. How can you do this? Of course, moderating your carbs. I'm not against carbs, but you have to eat them strategically, and also combining your carbs with protein and with fat. So increase your protein, increase your fat, moderate your carbs. Now, if you have a diagnosis, like you're sick, you may want to consider going on a ketogenic diet for some time until you achieved health and healing, because you want your body to use fat as fuel. That's how you stay lean. That's how you minimize risk of disease. That's how you fix your metabolism. And so you want to get healthy before you can lose weight, focus on the weight issue, right? Or achieving fitness. You need to be healthy first. So those are my recommendations. And the third problem that we have with food is not allowing the body to rest from digestion. So that also encompasses just snacking. Snacking can really add in some calories. If you're snacking all the time, it may be that your meals are not complete and nutritious. They're not fueling your body, nourishing your body properly, causing cravings. Or it could be some other issues like psychological issues, emotional issues, even boredom. So you really want to pay attention, because if you're not mindful, this could be a real big problem, a real obstacle to getting yourself fit and healthy, right? And at a healthy weight range. So also, when you rest from digestion, your body can shift its attention towards other things like healing, restoring, creating new cells in your body, in your gut. And so this is something you need every day. You should be fasting at least a minimum of 12 to 14 hours daily. And so this is another little secret here. Everybody fasts unless you're waking up in the middle of the night and sneaking food, okay? Last meal before bed should be only 2 or 4 hours before you go to bed. And then if you're sleeping 7 or 8 hours, that's already about 12. Give yourself like an hour or two in the morning before you start eating, and there's your 12 to 14 hours, because you want to give your body that time to not be digesting and rest and recover and focus on your other bodily functions that you need so you could be healthy and whole and regulated. And so if you want some assistance on your health and fitness journey, I have a wonderful book, Most Simple Ultimate Guide to Achieving Your Dream Body After 40. It's available on Amazon. Also, join me on the Break Free, Get Fit podcast, where you can listen to me giving you all the tools and strategies that you need to break free from diet culture and finally get fit for good. This was a pleasure speaking to you. My name is Dr. Janelle Taveras, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.